All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our ACM info session with Youth Code Jam. Before we get started, just want to remind you to sign in. We also have a few links down in the description. I'll go through some of those as well, but wanted to give you a chance to sign in first. And before we get started with Youth Code Jam, just wanted to go over a few announcements. Number one, our Slido room is going to be room code YCJ. That's for Youth Code Jam. So if you have any questions throughout this info session, feel free to submit them, and I will be asking our representative from Youth Code Jam those questions at the end of the session. Also, member dues. If you have not paid and you would like to become a full-fledged member, go to acm-utsa.org/join, or you can scan this QR code right here. That'll take you to our website where you can pay your member dues online. Also, I think that everybody here probably is already a part of our Slack workspace, but just in case you're not, there's a couple of ways to become a part of our workspace. Number one, if you pay your dues online, you'll automatically get an invitation to the workspace. And if you are not a full-fledged member, but you'd still like to join the workspace, just email council@acmutsa.org and we'll get you hooked up. Also, I wanted to draw your attention to some of our opportunities channels. So hackathons, careers, and opportunities. Every so often we'll be posting in here. So if you are not currently subscribed to these channels in Slack, I would definitely recommend checking them out. Also, be sure to follow us on social media. So we have our YouTube channel, obviously, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and our LinkedIn as well. So if you want to join us professionally, you can do that there. So these links should be at the bottom of our stream right now. And our loyalty program. So if you would like to earn points for being a member and get some really cool stuff, this is how you do it. You'll get 1 point for every ACM or ACMW general meeting, workshop, or social that you attend. And then so big events like Rowdy X, which was just this past weekend, or any other major events that we'll announce throughout the rest of the semester will be 2 points. At the end of the semester, if you are a returning student and you'll be here next fall, you'll be able to have your membership fee waived. If you are a graduating senior, you're going to get your ACM stole. And in case you have any questions about any things like t-shirts or ACM stoles and how we'll be able to get that to you, here's how. So we're in the process of collecting mailing addresses from you guys. And so if you have not received your t-shirt or you're eligible to receive a stole through the loyalty program, just stay tuned. We'll be sure to post this in Slack, email you something that we can make sure that we can get your attention and let you know that we want to get your information so we can send that stuff out to you. All right, some upcoming events. So our general meeting this week is learning about vision and AI lab at UTSA. So that's Vail. They do some really cool stuff. And so we wanted to make sure that we had a chance for some of our UTSA students, grad students, to come in and talk to you guys about some of the stuff that they're working on. So that's going to be tomorrow, April 1st at 1 p.m. here on our YouTube stream. Also, Rowdy Creators, this is Fridays at 10 a.m. It's going to be on our Rowdy Creators Discord. You can find this information in Slack. And it's really cool. I know that we're kind of like on an interesting platform by doing everything virtually, but this is still a great opportunity for you to get together and collaborate with some of your friends and work on a long-term project. Really great resume building stuff. So if you haven't checked it out yet, I would definitely encourage you to get on that Discord channel. And ICPC, so this is still going on Saturdays at 10 a.m. And this is in the ICPC Discord. So if you're not a part of this Discord yet, and you'd just like to learn more information about ICPC, make sure that you join our ICPC channel in Slack. All the information will be posted there. And then any of like the actual meeting updates or anything like that will be in their Discord, which you can find there in Slack. All right, and so without further ado, I want to introduce Brooke. She's with Youth Code Jam, and she's going to be giving us some information about opportunities within Youth Code Jam. So I'm going to hand it over to you.
Okay, hi everybody. My name is Brooke, and I'm with Youth Code Jam. And I did come to one of your meetings last semester, so some of you might have met me before. And I know quite a few of you volunteered at our community-wide jam that we had back in September. So thank you so much for coming and being a part of Youth Code Jam and our events. So I'm just going to give a little bit of a background on Youth Code Jam for any of those who don't know about our organization. And then I'll just talk about a little bit of the opportunities that we have right now. They look a little bit different than they have in the past with the current situation. So, but we do still have some opportunities. And so just want to share those out with you guys. So just get started. Just a little bit about me. I am the event coordinator here at Youth Code Jam. So obviously my role looks a little bit differently. Everything we do mostly is in person. So we're kind of having to switch to a virtual model. And so we are in the works of creating what a virtual jam could look like. And so that is one of the opportunities if you're interested in helping us create that. We do have a Slack channel going for Hack Youth Code Jam. So if you're interested, my email is going to be at the end of the presentation. You can reach out to me. And if you want to get involved in that, that would be a great chance for that. So things have shifted a little bit. So I'm just kind of helping where I can and whatnot. I went to Texas A&M. I got my degree in communications there. And I worked in marketing and advertising for about 15 years. And then kind of parlayed over into the event coordinating world last year. And I've really enjoyed my time so far at Youth Code Jam. And I've learned a lot about coding that I didn't know in the last 8 months. So it's been great. And then this is a picture of my cat. She's actually sitting behind me. So hopefully she doesn't scare me in the middle of the presentation. This is just a great quote from Steve Jobs. Everybody should learn to program a computer because it teaches you how to. So just a little background story on Youth Code Jam. This is our executive director, Debbie Fitzenmeyer. Debbie founded Youth Code Jam. We became an official nonprofit in 2016, but she started this work back in 2012 with our first community jam. Her son was interested in coding, and all she could find him was an $800 a week camp. And she just didn't think that was right as the only option that was out there. And so she worked in PR back then. And so she kind of got all of her connections together and she created the first, San Antonio Jam from Youth Code Jam that happened in 2012. And so then it just kind of blossomed from there. And we now host in-person jams in San Antonio, Austin, and the Rio Grande Valley. We have a community-wide jam, which is our larger jam, and it's open to everyone. And then we do our low sensory events, which are geared specifically towards neurodiverse students. And we do have those in each of those cities as well. So we typically host 6 jams a year from Youth Code Jam directly. Our mission is just that we want to provide innovative ways for family-focused out-of-school time. We really focus a lot on neurodiverse students. That is actually how the platform was built for everything that we do. And then it was expanded beyond that. We also want to bring computer science to every school and every classroom. It's really important that we do what we can to make this happen. I don't know why it's not advancing. Hang on. So our goal is pretty simple. We want to get kids excited about computer science. We want to build their skills and confidence, and then we want to inspire them to imagine themselves in the tech-driven jobs of the future. We really focus on students in low-income areas, students that are neurodiverse. We do have a girls coding club called She Code Connect for middle and high school girls. We're really just trying to tap all those people that may not have as much access to getting interested in coding and seeing what computer science is all about. So the how and why, we obviously want to offer opportunities for all abilities. That's really important. That was really important to Debbie when she started this, and it's really important to all of us here at Youth Code Jam, is that we don't want access to be a barrier for anyone, and we want anyone who can do it to be able to. Hands-on learning. So obviously that looks a little bit different right now. We've had to kind of pivot and figure out what some of that can look like online. Engagement is a huge thing for us. We build everything around family engagement models so that the family can be involved. The parents are involved with the students as well. It's really important for us, for the parents to see what their kids get excited about and what their interests are and how they can help them pursue their interests. And then of course, jobs. That's really the ultimate goal of all this, is to show students that they can do anything that they want, and that they can have the jobs that they want in the future. And whatever we do allows us to hopefully show them that path. The biggest why of all is that we really want to reach every student. And that happens through teacher professional development that we do, through our jams, we now have a product called a Jam in a Box, where we teach a school how to host a jam at their school. So we really want to try our best to reach every student with whatever means that we can. Just a little bit of data here. I'm not going to read it all to you guys, but basically there's a lot of computing related job openings currently, and we don't have enough people to fill them. So it's definitely a need out there. The other thing is that we're really passionate about is getting CS courses offered in schools. And that's just not something that is as readily available to everyone. And so that's a big portion of the work that we do as well. And then just really getting people more interested in becoming computer science majors. So girls, I told you that girls is a big focus for us. And we do have a middle school, high school girls coding club. They meet on the second Saturday of every month. If you're interested in being a part of that, we've moved all their meetings virtually right now. So we'd love to have you be a part of that. If you want to come and join, just reach out to me and we can get you involved in that. These are just some statistics about women in information technology. And I think these are great statistics, and I think we can continue to help increase those in the future. So just a few of our numbers. As I mentioned, we have a product called a Jam in a Box, and it's literally one of our hosted jams in a box with all the tools and activities and everything that a school would need to host a jam. So teachers receive professional development around that to show them how they can host their own jam. So we've had 92 schools in 37 different cities host these jams. And they've been very successful, and we're excited to see where that goes in the future. We've been able to train 672 teachers. We are TEA approved for professional education, and we make sure that all our lessons are TEKS aligned. So that really helps teachers in being able to integrate that stuff into their classrooms more easily. And then 20,163 students and parents in the community where we live, work, and play. Here's some of the things that we just do around town so that you can kind of see the breadth and depth of what we offer. As I mentioned, we have that Jam in a Box. Every November, we do Hour of Code Teacher Jam. So that's usually hosted at Rackspace. And it's just basically a jam for teachers so they can come and get some Hour of Code activities to take back to their classrooms. We do on-site consultations, speaker series, that kind of stuff. Libraries, every Monday and Wednesday, we have a Bits and Bytes program at Bibliotech East and West. We have moved that program online. So if you have any students or if you know of any students or you have any siblings or whatnot that are interested in coding, we post 2 lessons a week, and then we're doing a live Q&A regarding those lessons. So you can go check it out on our website. The Central Public Library is a huge partner. That's where we've hosted some of our jams. And then we recently partnered with the Public Library for our She Code Connect program as well with their teen services department. We have different camps, which those are going to possibly look a little bit different this summer. And then we're out in the community at different places. And then we also have our coding clubs and Coder Pal programs at these different schools that are listed. So how can you engage with us? Well, as I mentioned, right now things look a little bit differently. So we've been really focused on trying to get as much online as we possibly can. So we've launched, as I mentioned, we moved our Bits and Bytes program online. So we have that available. Every Friday, we're posting what we call brain breaks. They're little activities that you can do them too, but they are geared towards kids to do with their family. There's a maker section, there's a family one, and then there is some coding activities. And then we have a ton of resources listed for where you can get engaged. So we're continually developing content. And so here's some of the current opportunities that we have. As I mentioned, we are trying to figure out how to host a virtual jam. We do have some people working on it, but if you want to be a part of that team, again, I can get you in our Slack channel so you can see what's going on. We've been talking about what a hackathon could look like for us. I know you guys are pretty familiar with those. We have not ever hosted a hackathon, so that's something a little bit new to us, but we are looking into it and seeing what we could do. So the last two are the part where if you're potentially looking for employment, that's where we're offering content creators. So we need activities, we need lessons, we need different content created. So that's definitely an opportunity for something that you can do from your home. And then, as I mentioned, our summer camps are more than likely going to be virtual. And so we will need some facilitators for our clubs in our camps. So Chris and Matt, they both have the Youth Code Jam application, so they'll post that for you guys for if you want to apply for any of those opportunities. I'm going to open it up to questions right now. If you guys see, my email and my cell phone number are both at the bottom right hand of the screen. Please feel free to reach out to me. We want to offer any opportunities that we can, and if you would love to offer any insight and your brain power to us, we would love to have it. We're just trying to make the best of the current situation that we're in and offer as much as possible to students and parents and teachers out there.
Great, thank you so much, Brooke.
Sure.
So we do have a question from Slido.
Okay.
How much work is expected from a content creator?
So it will just depend on what the specific project is. So we have some grants and we have some new funding that has come in for specific projects. So you'll be given a specific project for the specific number of hours. So that's something that you can talk about. Lori is our operations manager, and she would be the one that would be reviewing your applications and contacting you. And so it just depends. It could be 1 to 2 hours a week. It could be 5 hours. It just depends on what the project is. So once you get a little bit further, you'd be able to tell what it is. And you could also offer she will ask you what availability that you have, and that will help figure out too, what projects you could work on.
Great. I have a question for you. I'm just going to allow a little bit more time for some people to maybe ask some questions via Slido.
Sure.
But in the meantime, I personally have volunteered the past 2 years, and it's a lot of fun. You get to engage with the kids and the parents. But from an organizer's perspective, can you describe a little bit about the vibe of the event and what's to be expected, the environment of the actual Code Jam?
Sure. So our Code Jam is, as you mentioned, it's a really fun event. What we do is it's mainly run by volunteers. Our large community jam, which as of right now is still on, it's September 26th at ESC Region 20. So we would love to have you guys volunteer again if you want. At least for now, it's still on. But usually we have approximately about 200 volunteers. Some people are what we call a station lead. So we'll have anywhere from 10 to 12 stations, and each station has a 15-minute activity based around a programming language. And so if you are not already in a specific group, then you'll be assigned to a station based on the skills that you would fill out when you register to volunteer. And so each station can have anywhere from about 8 to 10 volunteers. And so when the students come in with their parents, they get a map, and it has where all the different stations are located, and it's a short description about the station. It also tells if it's beginner, intermediate, advanced. And so then the kids and the parents just float from station to station and figure out what they like to do. Some kids will stay at a station the whole entire time. Some will try to get every station done. Some, will go to 1 or 2, and they'll really find something that they like and they want to dig in deep. And that's when it's really awesome for the volunteers too, because they may do all the activities that are already at that station, and they may want to continue learning. And that's when it gets really fun for the volunteer and the student, because then they can sort of go off and start figuring things out on their own, getting really creative. We also, one of the huge benefits when you volunteer is that we have a networking component for all our volunteers. So we have our volunteers come a little bit early, and we feed them lunch, and then we give them a chance to network with each other. A lot of times you don't get exposed to as many like-minded people as you'd like, and so this gives the opportunity to do that. Usually we also have corporate teams there, but this also gives you an opportunity to maybe network with some of those companies that you might be looking for future employment at. So again, we have those in San Antonio, in Austin, and the Rio Grande Valley. So we still are right now on for all our community jams in the fall. We did have to postpone our 2 low sensory jams that we had remaining this spring. So hopefully we'll be able to reschedule them, but that's just still kind of to be determined.
Great, thank you.
Mhm.
And we do have one more question from Slido.
Sure.
So what are your current ideas for putting on a virtual hackathon? And are you interested in having volunteers from Rowdy Hacks who just put on a virtual hackathon?
Yes, yes, and yes. So we've never done a hackathon before. So this is a new venture for us. We do have some volunteers that have already kind of started throwing out ideas and questions and stuff, but we haven't really gone any further than just some idea gathering at the moment. For our virtual jam, we've been looking at a couple different platforms, Microsoft Teams. We've been looking at just what was the other one that we were looking at? I'm not sure. There's a specific volunteer that's kind of spearheading that. But we're just kind of looking at different formats. The jam is obviously a little bit different than a hackathon. And so figuring out kind of the nuances of a jam versus a hackathon. We did also talk about doing like an adult hackathon, really hack youth code jam, and sort of figure out what within youth code jam, what that could look like what everything could, that's sort of the problem that we could solve via the hackathon. So we're honestly looking for a bunch of ideas. We haven't really made any headway with the hackathon as of yet, but I feel like we're sort of evolving so fast that any day we could have an idea and just go with it. So if you're interested and want to be part of that conversation, we would love to have you.
Great. Thank you so much. I think that's all the questions that we have from Slido. So I just want to take an opportunity to thank you, Brooke, for joining us today and giving us this information. If you guys have any questions for Brooke, like she said, her information is down at the bottom of that slide. If you have any questions for us, the ACM team, feel free to message us on Slack. And also, we do have that application that Brooke sent us. So we'll be posting that into our announcements channel shortly after this.
Perfect. Thank you so much for having me. And I hope that we see some of you guys soon.
Thanks, everyone.